Your favorite immigration lawyer coming at you. I am live. I'm live on TikTok. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live in our Facebook group. We have a Facebook group with over 20,000 people in it. We focus on visa delays. I'm also live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, or X is what they're calling it these days. I hope everybody is doing amazing. The travel ban, let's get into it. I'm here to answer all your questions. And before I do that, let me just introduce myself if you don't know me. I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer who has more than 20 years of experience helping people reach their immigration goals. I help people in all 50 states and around the world from our offices in Los Angeles. I'm passionate. I care about you. I'm here to inspire you, to inform you, and to help you reach your goal. I'm going to be answering all your questions, or trying to answer all your questions. And I'm excited to get into it. First of all, when it comes to the travel ban, first of all, there is no travel ban today. Okay. It's widely anticipated the travel ban will be coming in the matter of days. Could be tomorrow. Could be the 21st, some people say. And what you're reading about in the media are proposals for the travel ban, draft proposals. Okay? So everything that I'm saying about the travel ban could be wrong or different. Who knows? That's one point. The second point that I want to make, something just happened on TikTok. I got some notification. The other thing I want to say is that, like everything with Trump, there's going to be chaos because there's going to be lawsuits about this. I guarantee it. And we don't know what those lawsuits are going to do. Lindsay is contacting us from the Philippines. Hello, Salamat po. Salamat. There'll be lawsuits with the travel ban, and last time around there was a travel ban, and there were lawsuits, and then there was another travel ban. They switched it around, they changed it. During the campaign, it was known as the Muslim ban, which is kind of really what it is. So keep that in mind, that a lot of it is designed to ban people from Muslim countries from coming to the U.S. So you have to keep in mind that there's going to be chaos. Sometimes I talk to people and they're like, yeah, I want to get my green card and all that, but I'm going to wait till this thing's settled down. But you know what? Things are not going to settle down. It's going to be like this because this is Trump. This is what he does. It's chaos. So don't expect there to be any kind of clarity with this. So what I'm saying is just my own impression on what this is all about, okay? And I could be wrong. As you know, there are 3 tiers. Unlike last time around, there are now 3 tiers of travel ban. There's the red, which is a complete ban on travel. There's the orange, which is apparently countries have to severe restrictions on travel. And then there's another one that's called yellow. Now, what will the exact difference between yellow and orange? I don't know. Which countries are in red? Which countries are in orange? Which countries in yellow? There's draft proposal on the New York Times about this. And, nobody knows for sure exactly what it'll be. And we'll see soon. Hello, Instagram. I'm now live on Instagram. My phone I have a separate phone for Instagram, and it died. Susan from Michigan. Hello. I was born and lived in Michigan until I was 8. So that's great. Ann Arbor. My whole family's from Flint. Should Turkish PhD student avoid travel? Turkey is so your first time hearing about the travel ban. Basically, the genesis of the travel ban is that when Trump was running for president, he said, I'm going to place a ban on Muslims from entering the U.S. And everybody laughed and said, "This is ridiculous. You can't do that. That's obviously not legal. You can't do that." But then, when he became president, he didn't call it the Muslim ban. He called it a travel ban, and they included North Korea and some other countries. And basically, there were lawsuits, and the Supreme Court said, "This is fine. You can do this." Now that he's president, he said we're going to have an even more severe ban. Do you think we will have waivers? So yes and no. Last time around, there were waivers. Okay, there was a waiver process, but so few people were approved for the waiver that they called the waiver a sham. They called it a sham. So I think there technically will be a waiver, but I don't believe that the waiver is actually going to be something that you can do. Appreciate all your questions. I'm going to get to them. First question I'm going to take here is from, is this one here. Okay, hope you're doing well. I got my visa. You helped me a lot. Now I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't know if I can go to Afghanistan and come back because of the ban. Okay, so if you're a U.S. citizen, the travel ban does not apply to you. Okay, immigration laws do not apply to you because you have a travel ban. Hello from to my friend in San Antonio, Yolanda Molina. Shanti's here. King is here. Jamie. Got a bunch of people over on Instagram. 70 plus people on LinkedIn. I mean on YouTube and LinkedIn. This is amazing. So here we have a question. Hello from Minnesota. My husband has a green card holder. Bad idea to go to Canada. Where's your husband from? Somali Canadian with a green card holder for 17 years. Should I worry if I go outside the U.S.? Yes. I'm advising U.S. citizens who are from countries subject to the travel ban not to travel. Now, if you have dual citizenship and so on, I guess my question for Zainab, if you're listening, this would be my advice to you. If you've had a green card for 17 years, why? Why would you have a green card for 17 years? Why not apply so that you can become a naturalized U.S. citizen? If anybody is listening to this, does that sound like good advice? If you've had a green card for more than 5 years, why would you not become a U.S. citizen? Now, there are circumstances in which people don't want to become a U.S. citizen. If you're Japanese, it's a nice passport to have, and you don't want to naturalize because Japan would not allow you to keep your Japanese passport and a U.S. passport, then I would say, great, yeah. If I were Japanese, I would keep my green card too. I wouldn't give up Japanese passport. But other than that, there's really not too many people who should have had a green card for 17 years. Pakistani national thinking of visiting Niagara Falls. Find a destination in the U.S. I hear Florida is nice. Why not visit the U.S. side of the Niagara Falls? You know, why do something where you trigger the risk of immigration when you can do something in the U.S.? I mean, and now there are people, when I give this advice not to travel, they're like, oh, you know, you're being too conservative. I've traveled many times. Why can't I travel? And, you know, look, here's the deal. This travel ban is coming out very soon. We don't know the details yet. So in light of the uncertainty, why not play it safe? Huh? Why not play it safe? That's my take. Does anyone agree with me? Does anyone agree with me at all? Am I wrong? I advised Pakistani permanent resident green card holders not to travel right now. And in the comments of my video, people were like, "You're crazy. Pakistan is on the orange list. They can travel." But all of this is speculative. Yes, it's rumored that Pakistan will be listed in the orange category, but what exactly does this mean? We don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But if I'm speculating, I say stay in the US. Now, or if you do have to travel, you should know that there's enormous risks. And, how would you feel? Because last time around, there were people who were stuck and couldn't come back to the US. The decision is coming soon. We should hear more about the travel ban probably by Monday. Susan, a friend got the citizenship already. Will it be possible that they lose it if they travel abroad? So if you're a U.S. citizen, none of this applies. You have a U.S. passport, you're good to go. You're good to go. You're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Mohammed says, I'm living in Pakistan and I'm from Afghanistan. I am here for my I-130 case. But I mentioned I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Jonathan from Argentina. Love Argentina. Mate, steak. All the food is delicious. Quick question. I want to get your take. My fiance is from Venezuela. We got our K1 visa in hand and moving to the U.S. in May. You think we have issues? You got your K1 visa in hand? Yes, you're going to have issues. Venezuela is one of the countries on the list. So, if Jonathan, if you're listening, let me know in the comments. Why don't you go, Jonathan, if you have the visa, why don't you buy a flight and go to the airport right now? Like, seriously, go to the airport right now and get on the next plane to enter the United States. Come to the United States. Now, why am I saying that? Maybe it'll cost you $4,000 or $10,000 to buy that ticket. I don't know. But let me ask you this. If you wait till May, that travel ban is likely to be in effect. And if you wait till May, that travel ban, Venezuela is likely to be on that travel ban. You might not be able to come to the US. You might take that fiance visa and put it right in the trash because you might not be able to enter the US. Now, you might listen to me saying this and say, "Oh, you're fear-mongering. You're being too extreme. That's not going to happen." Well, maybe, but nobody really knows, do they? I'm speculating. I know that today you should send her now. You should send her right now. Like, literally go to the damn airport and take the next flight out. Because, Jonathan, if you're listening, she has a visa in her hand, right? She can come here now. There's no restrictions on her entering the US. She can come here now. And we know that Venezuela is rumored to be on the list. So, regardless of the cost, get her into the United States. If you're inside the United States, the travel ban is inapplicable. If you need help with this, reach out. But if there's anybody who is outside the US who has a visa or a green card and is on one of the countries rumored to be impacted, Afghanistan, Somalia, Venezuela, get your butt into the US now. Yes, Jonathan. Yes. Buenos Aires. There's airports there. EZE, AEP. Make it happen. Do it. And do it now with urgency. Because I lived through the Trump administration. And I know that there were people who couldn't get into the United States because of the travel ban for years and years this happened. So go and take action. Get off this live feed, stop watching me, and book a goddamn ticket and get on an airplane and go. Like, I cannot warn you strongly enough. And if people think I'm fear-mongering, I'm not. I'm not. There's no travel ban today. Today, there is no travel ban. Tomorrow, there could be. Or maybe it'll be in a couple days. Alexandra says, you're a great lawyer and a human being. Some days I'm better than others, though. But yeah. Best to take precautions than to be sorry. Yes. Best to take precautions than be sorry. Yes. I had a consultation with somebody from Pakistan yesterday, and they were asking me about the travel ban, and they're like, well, we have our visa and we're going to come this summer. And I said, what are you talking about? Why don't you come now? And they said, oh, well, we already have the visa. This is a valid visa. And I said, dude, you got to come into the US. And they're like, well, yeah, but Pakistan's supposed to be on the orange list. So that's not like, is he really going to, we have a valid visa. All of this is up in the air. I don't know what the orange means. No one knows what the orange means. Orange, yellow. No one knows anything. All I know is, yes, Paris. All I know is that today there's no travel ban. And if you are from one of the impacted countries, come back to the US. When the travel ban's released, we're going to have a lot to talk about. But hopefully everybody on this broadcast is going to heed my advice and come to the US. Boss, some Cubans became green card holders as political refugees. And as soon as they became legal, the first thing they did was travel to Cuba on vacation. They abused the system. Well, that's true. That's true. But, let me address your point, Santanas. Beelzebub, Mr. Beelzebub. If you are from a country that you are a refugee from, even if you get your green card or your citizenship, you should not go back to that country, because your whole immigration case is based on a fear of returning to the country. Someone said, how long does a travel ban last on average? Well, that's like saying how long is a piece of string? We don't know how long it is, right? But the answer, I think, is how long are the Republicans going to be in the presidency? Trump, at most, well, I would think probably at most would be president until 2029, January. And then if a Democrat becomes president after him, the travel ban will be lifted. But there's so much uncertainty. There will be lawsuits. I don't think the lawsuits are going to challenge the travel ban effectively. There will be lawsuits, but I don't believe that's going to work. I was thinking it's a good idea for green card holders or U.S. citizens to visit. Let's see. Is it a good idea for a green card holder or U.S. citizen to visit any countries that are under the orange, sharply restricted? Okay, so the travel ban does not apply to U.S. citizens. So if you're a U.S. citizen, you can go wherever you want. You can go to Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea. I mean, I don't know what the restrictions are to traveling there, but you can travel wherever you want as a U.S. citizen. As a green card holder, you're subject to the immigration laws. And if you are holding a passport from one of the affected countries, you're subject to the travel ban. Now, the question is not, you're not subject to the travel ban by visiting those countries. You're subject to the travel ban by being from one of those countries. And one of the things that makes it so cruel is that many of the people who are trying to escape from those countries are banned from entering the U.S. I have tons of clients from Iran, for example. They want out. They want to come to the U.S. They have family here. And this travel ban would prevent that from happening. So it punishes them, the people who are trying to escape. Does this make sense? Are you with me? Am I wrong? Maybe you disagree with me. Let me know. I'd love to hear contrary opinion. Here's Berkey, 1974. I'm a South African. What options are there for obtaining a green card? Well, my favorite option for a South African would be the green card lottery. Comes out in October. Now, whenever I suggest the green card lottery to people, it's free, by the way, people say to me, "Oh yeah, but what are the chances I'm going to win that? I applied for it last year. I didn't win. Why? That's just a lottery." But people win it all the time. And if you apply for the lottery and you win, your whole family, your minor children, and your spouse can get green cards. And Berkey, if you're married, your spouse can apply for a green card. U.S. State Department announced that there's no such list. I don't know what you're talking about. What list are? How will the DV lottery affect? How will the travel ban affect us? DV lottery 2026. I'm Kenyan. How will it affect? I don't believe Kenya is on the list. Kenya. No, Kenya is not on the list. Kenya is not on the list. The 43 countries. So Sahar says, U.S. State Department announced that there's no such list. Said that it's not true. The 43 country list. Okay. I don't know if I believe that, but Sahar, if that's true, then that's a cause for celebration. There is no travel ban. I'm assuming that this is going to come to pass. One of the attorneys in my office thinks that the fear of the travel ban is kind of overblown because we don't know really what's going to happen, whether anything's going to happen. And that's a valid perspective. I don't disagree with that. How does a travel ban affect refugees? That's an excellent question, and I don't know the answer to that. Many of my clients come into the U.S. as refugees or travel to join asylum applicants through the I-730. I don't know. What determines how long it takes for the N400 interviews? Some cases are faster than other interviews. I don't know. I don't know what the factors are. Some are certainly faster than others. Ayan says, I'm curious about the timelines for F2A during the Trump administration. I've been waiting for my wife's petition to be processed since 2023. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how things might progress. I think it's going to be quite slow, Ayan. The only thing I would tell you is try to become a naturalized U.S. citizen. My parents are in the U.S. and I'm Kenyan. That's awesome. What question do you have about this? Just imagine I'm just wondering how this travel ban will affect Afghans who are married to U.S. citizens and what are the options to get our spouses ASAP. I submitted mine October 2024. I think that Afghans who Mohammed are going to be subject to the travel ban. That's what I expect will happen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very, very wrong. But that's what I expect will happen. Alfred, I'm a U.S. citizen currently outside the country. My country's on the orange list. Will I have issues when I come back? You're a U.S. citizen, so this doesn't apply to you. Lindsay Williams, can green card holders who are not on the list go on vacation outside the U.S.? Yes. Sahar says maybe not now, but in the future. Well, yeah, it's speculative. Will you please update us next Monday on how the ban works? Absolutely. I'm going to be making videos, and I usually make longer videos for YouTube. I'm going to be doing all that, and I'll be going live to answer questions as well. I mean, there's a tremendous need for information. What questions do you have? After getting notice of acceptance for a work permit, how long does it take to get approved and work permit? I'd say 6 months. Generally. Vulcan lady is here. Is it safe for a green card holder to travel domestically? In general, yes. But, if you have a deportable offense or something like that, I don't think that's a good idea. Dr. Mohammed Fauza. I'm a U.S. citizen. I filed for my wife, my I-130 a few days ago. My spouse will be in the red band states. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry. Oh, here's a question on Instagram. Let's see here. Keep your questions coming. Keep your questions coming. Keep them coming. U.S. Embassy gave me 221G. Can I submit it or no need because of travel ban? Yes, you should submit it. That's one of the most important things. Am I not taking calls on TikTok? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by taking calls. My contact information is in my bio, and you can contact my firm, and we can connect with you. I don't know what you mean. You can call me directly from TikTok. I don't know how that all works. Any official updates on the travel ban? No, there are no official updates. I'm sharing my speculation with you here, but I mean, there are no official. Where are you getting your sources about the travel ban? I'm in some immigration lawyer channels that we have access to information there, and then also the New York Times article. But I do appreciate that this information is speculative and could turn out to be something else. Let's see. More questions. Someone said, "Why are you not answering my question?" But I don't know what their question is, and I have to try to scroll through and find it. How will the process go? Will it be stopped? If you're from a country that's subject to the travel ban, yes. Arslan, Pakistani national in the U.S. on an H-1B, visiting Canada and coming back to the U.S. from Canada. Will it cause an issue? Yes, you're subject to the travel ban. So make sure you're back into the U.S. very soon. Beer, my husband's case went to AP after his interview in Islamabad. What should we do now? It's been 2 months. There's nothing I can do after 2 months, but after 6 months, I could definitely take action to help you. So if you're still waiting 4 months from now, then you should definitely reach out to us.